You might get this error while installing Windows 11 or Windows 10 on a new disk. Like I am trying to clean install Windows 11 on a new disk, which is disk 0, and it says Windows cannot be installed on drive 0 partition 1. And if I click on show details, it says Windows cannot be installed to this disk. The selected disk has an MBR partition table on EFI system. Windows can only be installed to GPT disk. This happens when you try to install Windows from a bootable media and the motherboard firmware is selected as UEFI, and the target disk where you are installing Windows has MBR partition style. So you cannot install Windows with UEFI firmware and MBR disk. However, you can try to change the firmware from UEFI to BIOS or CSM, and you can proceed with MBR disk. It will allow you to install Windows 10. But you cannot install Windows 11 on MBR disk because Windows 11 requires UEFI, and with UEFI MBR won't work. And also it is better to use UEFI and GPT disk rather than MBR and BIOS. It has numerous benefits over old style. Alright, here we just need to change the target disk from MBR to GPT. So first thing, you need to note down the drive index if you have multiple hard disks attached on your PC. In my case it is drive 0. I have more than one disk, so I know drive 0 where I want to install the Windows 11. In case if you have only one disk attached on your PC, then you will find drive 0 only. Now you need to press Shift plus F10 key on your keyboard at this screen and it will open CMD. Once we have CMD, we can execute certain commands to convert the MBR disk to GPT. Or let me make it little bigger. I will just make the font size 20. So here you have to enter into disk partition mode by typing diskpart. Then press enter on your keyboard. Then type list, then space disk, press enter, and it will list all the disks attached on your PC. Now you can see that disk 0 doesn't have any star under GPT. That means it is an MBR style disk. Any disk which has star under GPT is a GPT disk. In case if you have more than one disk on your PC and you cannot find the target disk, then just look at the size of disk and then you can differentiate between the target disk and other disk on your PC. If you have only one disk, it will be disk 0. In my case, it is disk 0 as well. Now you have to select the target disk by typing select, then space disk, then space disk number, which is 0 in this case. Once the disk is selected, we need to clean it. Cleaning the disk will completely delete everything from the target disk. If you have any important data in the disk, make sure take a backup anyhow, otherwise you will lose everything and you won't be able to recover it. So before proceeding further, take a backup if you have important data. Now just type clean and press enter on your keyboard and it will delete everything from the disk. Now type convert, then space GPT and press enter, and it will convert that disk into GPT style. Now let's verify it by typing list, then space disk and press enter, and it will list all the disks. Now you can see that disk 0 has a star under GPT, which means it is now a GPT disk. Now you can exit out CMD and try to install Windows 11. You have to go 1 or 2 steps back on the Windows setup so that it can refresh the list of disks, and then install again. It will just refresh the list of disks, or you can manually refresh the list of disks, and you can see that drive 0 is now unallocated space. You can either create a new partition on this disk or just click on next and Windows setup will create a partition and install the Windows 11. Now it will copy the file and proceed with the installation. You just have to follow the on-screen instructions to install Windows 11. If you have any difficulties installing Windows 11 or want to know the correct way to clean install Windows 11 on a new PC, then watch